Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Right, let's take a look at every Premier League team and a club record that will never be broken again by that same club. So just to clarify, lads, these are club records that won't be broken by that club again, not by everyone else. Anyway, alright, let's go. Oh, and by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you can there. Don't forget to click subscribe with notifications on, and let's go. Arsenal, matches without defeat, 49. Yeah, I'm sorry, no Arsenal side is ever beating this record again, or even coming close. Starting with a 6-1 win over Southampton in May 2003, Arsenal went 49 games unbeaten until losing at Old Trafford in November 2004 and responding by slapping a pizza into an old man's face. That is 16 months without a defeat in the league. Nowadays, Arsenal can barely go 3 weeks. Aston Villa, fewest league goals scored in a season, 27. Aston Villa fans will want to forget the 15-16 season ever happened, namely because they only won 3 games. Christ above, they scored 27 goals that season. 27 in 38 games. The likes of Jordan Ayew and Rudy Gestede should have been shot on the spot. Libor Kozak was no doubt questioning his choice of career, while Gabi Agbadlahor no doubt spent that campaign living in the toilets of Burger King. Christ above, if you slathered his captain's armband with 6 pounds of butter, he'd have probably tried to eat that too. 27 goals in an entire league season is pitiful. And you'd think Villa will never stoop that low again. I mean, the only way they could beat that record is if they played the whole season with 2 dustbins up front. Bournemouth, highest league position, 9th in Premier League. Okay, Bournemouth won't like this one, lads. I'm sorry, okay? The 16-17 season wasn't just the highest you've ever finished in the Football League. It's also going to be the highest forevermore. Don't let the transfer fees fool you, lads. Bournemouth are a tiny club that are extraordinarily punching above their weight. But, sorry lads, it doesn't last forever. Don't forget, Wigan Athletic once finished top half as well. This is a club who were circling the drain of League 2 not 10 years ago. Their stadium is tiny. I mean, I'm not hating on Bournemouth, lads, okay? Honestly, I don't care. But I think we can all agree this is the best it's ever going to get for the club. Actually, now they'll probably finish 8th next season just to spite me. Brighton, biggest defeat, 18-0 versus Norwich. Christmas Day 1940. Brighton, no doubt with half their squad too busy shooting Nazis on enemy lines, travelled to Norwich with 5 players. Lads, they had to make up the numbers with Norwich reserves and lads from the crowd. I'm not even joking. Imagine if that was forced to happen nowadays. The club would shut down in the morning out of sheer embarrassment. Now you might have thought, okay, Norwich might have then taken it easy on them because this was essentially like beating up a small child. These Brighton lads were grown men with families. They don't want to ruin their life on Christmas Day. Yeah, instead they stuck 18 goals past them, showing all the mercy and restraint of James Corden at an all-you-can-eat buffet. I'm sorry, but Brighton are literally never losing a scoreline by this much again. They just can't. Burnley, youngest first team player in Europe, Dwight McNeil. Yeah, the youngest first teamer in European competition for Burnley was Dwight McNeil of 18 years and 253 days, playing 6 minutes against Aberdeen in August 2018. Considering it was only Burnley's second venture into Europe in the entire history of the club, it must have been a bit underwhelming when they were drawn against a bunch of lads from Scotland. Having spent that summer no doubt dreaming of trips to Milan and Madrid, they instead started the journey stuffed on a piss-stained megabus on a 5-hour trip up to Scotland. Anyway, I don't see Burnley qualifying for Europe anytime soon, so don't worry, Dwight, I think your record's safe. Chelsea, most consecutive league appearances, Frank Lampard 165. Frank Lampard playing 165 league games in a row between 30th October 2001 and Boxing Day 2005. That man must have been wolfing down Weetabix every goddamn morning, because Christ above, that is a lot of games. That's over 4 years without missing a single Premier League match. Considering these days players are prone to pulling out due to a blocked nose, I'm pretty sure this record is going to last at Stamford Bridge forevermore. Crystal Palace, youngest player, John Bostock, 15 years and 287 days. John Bostock, the man who almost caused a civil war in North London, only for him to turn out about as useful as a packet of squash wine gums. He's the youngest player in the club's history, making his debut against Watford in August 2007 at the age of 15 years and 287 days. When most lads his age were out drinking tins in a goddamn bush. Palace are surely not going to chuck out even younger lads onto the pitch, but if they do, don't be surprised to see Gary Glitter pick up a season ticket. Everton, most goals in a season, Dixie Dean. Well, I could have gone for Victor Anichi's record for most substituted appearances in the history of Everton Football Club. Yeah, the lad was subbed onto the pitch 95 times. I'm pretty sure whenever he's brought onto the pitch, most Everton fans started debating what toaster to chuck in the bath that night. But no, I'm gonna go for this record. During the 1927-28 season, Dixie Dean scored 60 goals for Everton in just 39 games. That is Lionel Messi stats, and it happened at Goodison Park. Now, I'm not sure if Dean was a world-class striker, or maybe he was just coming up against chain-smoking defences who feasted on a pre-match meal of cheese puffs and 6 pints of vodka, but either way, that is a mental record. Who is ever going to beat it at Goodison Park? Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Leicester City, longest odds to win the Premier League, 5,000 to 1. Now, I'm not saying Leicester will never win the top flight again, because come on lads, Let's not forget that Sunderland have 6 goddamn titles. Raised above, lads, there was once a time when Huddersfield Town were kings of the country, lifting 3 league titles in a row. So you never know. I mean, Leicester could do it again. What they won't do though is win it with 5,000 to 1 odds. Largely because after that insane 15-16 season, bookies just will no longer try to tempt fate for fear of bankrupting their goddamn business. Yes, in the past it was oh so tempting to lure in pissed up smackheads willing to chuck 10 quid on Stoke winning the league, or Titus Bramble to go 20 minutes without shitting the bed. But nowadays, after that unprecedented Leicester League win, which no doubt caused a few bookies to spend 6 months eating out of a f***ing bin, I doubt we'll ever see those sort of mental odds again. Liverpool, fastest hat-trick, Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler has a few unofficial records, like being the first person to celebrate a goal by imitating the antics of Adrian Mutu in a bathroom stall. But no, instead let's go for an actual record. Fastest hat-trick in the club's history, netting 3 against Arsenal in August 1994 in a 4-minute and 33-second blitz. But to be fair, Liverpool do currently have a player that has scored a faster hat-trick than that, but sorry Sadio, you haven't yet replicated it for Liverpool, so Robbie's record stands. Man City oldest player Billy Meredith. Man City actually share a record with Man United, with both of their clubs boasting their oldest player being some lad called Billy Meredith from East Lancashire. This was a forward who made his debut for City in 1894, captained them to the 1904 FA Cup before picking up a ban for trying to bribe an Aston Villa fullback with 10 quid to lose a goddamn match. Anyways, last game was in 1924 at the age of 49 years and 245 days. I'm sorry, how was a 49-year-old still getting played in the top flight? How was he still getting offered new contracts? Lads, he was 3 months off his 50th birthday. He was sharing a dressing room with lads half his age. If he was from Blackpool, he'd be old enough to be their granddad. Man United, most appearances Ryan Giggs. It is pretty simple, standing way out in front. Ryan Giggs has the most appearances for Man United with 963. He spent 13 years of his life at the club. What with all the uncertainty and lack of stability at clubs these days, with the revolving door of players, agents and managers, this is never going to happen again at Old Trafford. Nobody is even going to come close. Newcastle. Biggest win, 13-0 versus Newport County. I mean, the way it's going, a record that won't be beaten at Newcastle is a goddamn transfer fee. I mean, Michael Owen's one nearly stood for 15 goddamn years. Maybe if there was a record for the amount of times an ownership could piss off a set of fans over the course of 10 years, Newcastle would stand tall with that one as well. Or maybe the record for most amount of defensive ups in a single league season. Maybe then Titus Bramble will finally have someone to put on the goddamn fridge that wasn't a court summons. Instead, let's go for their biggest win. A 13-0 win over Newport County on the 5th of October 1946. This was a game when Len Shackleton bagged 6 and famously claimed that the opposition were lucky to get nil. Now you might think, surely the Shackleton fellow went down as a club hero. He lasted 2 years at the club before flashing the V's and choosing to spend the next 11 years down the road at Sunderland. I'm guessing he subsequently had bags of dog shit chucked in his car for the next 40 years of his goddamn life. Now, no matter how hard Newcastle tried, they are not ever going to beat someone by 13 goals again. For Christ's sake, when you've hustled up front, it's hard enough winning by 1. Norwich City, most international caps while at club, Wes Hoolahan. Go for the record for most international caps while playing for the club. Wes Hoolahan with 42. I don't think that's going to be beaten anytime soon. Although the ironic thing is that according to the Irish media, Hoolahan didn't get played enough. Sheffield United, lowest attendance, 4,014 versus Nottingham Forest 1935. Sheffield United's lowest attendance was just over 4,000 people for a game against Nottingham Forest in 1935. Now I get that the British public might have been a bit more concerned with famine and war, but still, just over 4,000 people turning up for a football match. Christ above, lads, more people watch this. Somebody's scratching themselves like a goddamn cat. He's apparently more appealing than a top flight football match. The only way the Blades will ever record a lower attendance is if they staple bags of dog shit to the goddamn seats. Southampton, fastest goal, Shane Long. The most recent record in the list. Southampton's fastest goal in the history of the club was Shane Long's after 7.69 seconds against Watford in April. Now I know what you're thinking, and yes, that is a time that would sound like a goddamn marathon in the fucking bedroom. But lads, on a football pitch, that is actually pretty damn quick. What? Tottenham. Most goals in a single game, 10-4. To be fair, Tottenham have been involved in some pretty high-scoring games in recent times, but I don't think you're ever going to beat this one at Tottenham again. A game where defenders no doubt took a day off. Either that or they are made out of goddamn plastic. Because honestly, 14 goals in one game, great entertainment, but that is something that would probably cause defensive coaches to bleed from the fucking nose. Nobody is beating that for most goals in a Tottenham game. Nobody. Watford, most goals in a single season, Cliff Holton 42. I mean, this record might be beaten, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. Cliff Holton scored 42 league goals in one season for Watford during the 59-60 campaign, back when they were stuffed down the back of the 4th Division. You know how many Watford's top league goal scorer got last season? 12 goals. Yeah, nobody is going to beat that at Vicarage Road. Let's don't. No. West Ham, a record goal scorer, Vic Watson, 326. West Ham's record goal scorer is Vic Watson with 326 goals. That record has stood since 1935. And is it any wonder when you're spending 20 million on lads like Andy Carroll? Wolves' longest serving manager, Jack Addenbrooke. I am 100% confident this record will never be broken. Not just at Wolves, but probably not in the rest of English football. Jack Addenbrooke died nearly 100 years ago, but he spent 36 years and 10 months as manager of Wolves. Nowadays, in the cutthroat business world of football management, where lads are given their P45s for coughing in the wrong direction, that is unheard of. He was appointed manager when he was just 20 years old. Imagine that, grown men getting bossed around by a lad straight out of his teens. And yeah, fair play to him, because he lasted 36 more years, helping Wolves to 5 FA Cup finals, winning 2, before stepping down in June 1922 due to ill health. And within 3 months he sadly died. So if he didn't get sick, like, he'd probably still be there now. Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. Let me know, are there club records that you think will be broken, or do you think any of this won't be? Let me know the records from your club that you think are going to stand for the rest of time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, talk to you in a while.